What do you say, everybody? Welcome to Elephant in the Room, part of Cover Crimson's. First time I've got to hang out with you, Jake, since we changed the name, and we got the third man in our crew, Ryan Anderson, in here too. Man, this is going to be a great show. We got so much to talk about as we get ready for Alabama and Western Kentucky. But man, good to see you.
Man, it's good to be seen. I missed you guys, Mick.
Big man's 30 today.
Yeah, 30.
Mixed emotions. I want beer and bourbon.
Yeah, well, we can hook you up with both of those here.
You came the right way.
You're in the right spot for all those things. I start you out with a beer, but as we celebrate your 30th birthday today, we'll make sure that we swing it over. We'll talk some Alabama football. Alabama practicing. You guys have been through this before. The scrimmage, first scrimmage, that was Saturday, and then Fan Day was Sunday. And so, right off the bat, Alabama's offensive line looks pretty good this year, and I think that's been a strength of this team. Jalen Milroe, having him kind of leading the way, a lot less uncertainty this year with the team. And we all know him, and we know that he's going to do a fantastic job.
What was the word from the scrimmage this Saturday?
I mean, he throws the deep ball, and Ryan Williams caught one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And that's, I think,
good.
That's one I'm interested in right there. That's what I'm probably the most interested in seeing how he comes through camp practice. I mean, a guy with those kind of physical tools, I just hope he can put it together, in the first 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, how would that work? I mean, a guy that's supposed to be a senior in high school, but he's not playing like a senior in high school.
No, he won Mr. Football twice. Well, yeah, Ryan's 16, ain't he? So I'm thinking.
I forgot that too.
Yeah, he's 16.
Sitting here, he skipped his senior year.
Yep. So and now that Mick said it, I just been thinking about it, like, when I was in school, like watching Amari during that, that fall camp, like how our freshman, like how he like came into his own and just started killing people.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I remember after that first scrimmage, Coach Saban, like we broke it down and he was like, in 9, he just kept like pressing, like in 9s, like he busting everybody's ass. Like, we can't cover him.
Yeah, right.
We need more of that. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm gonna go check them out Thursday. And that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, like, I'm putting them type of expectations on him. I'm forgetting he's damn 16.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine going to school at 16 years old.
Nuts just dropping,
I mean, you imagine going to school at 16 years old?
Man.
Parents say bye, you got nobody just, choking you out when you do something wrong. I mean, golly.
It's a new day and age. But like I said, if he's a special kid, so, hopefully he can turn it on. We need him to be a factor for us this year. Like,
especially a receiver this year. Step up quick.
What we got at receiver? Like I said, I ain't really been keeping up too much. That's why I got to get up there and lay my eyes on them. Like, who we
Yeah. So have you been to, you want to go to practice?
Yeah.
And from all I understand, Coach DeBoer has really enjoyed having you guys out at practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that's kind of cool, like to be able to, without Coach Saban there, still feel comfortable, where you can go out and hang and check out practice and be part of it. Right. I mean, would you worry that'd be, kind of a problem sometimes,
I always worried about it when when you thought about him leaving, you were hoping you'd have that homey feel when you came back, knew everybody. I mean, of course, you still got a lot of the same guys around, but I tell you, I'm gonna miss going out there to practice and seeing him just rip somebody's ass.
Yeah.
When you're not the one getting yelled at, man, it's hard not to laugh.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right when you're receiving in, no doubt.
Yeah. So the offensive wide receivers right now, Kendrick Law is the X guy. That's Ryan Williams is probably the backup to him, or Caleb Odom, the big tall guy. And then Jaron Hamilton, Z receiver, is Jeremy Bernard. He's the guy that transferred from Washington.
What number he wear?
I'm not sure.
At Washington, 8 at Washington.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll look it up. But they can put him at running back. He can do a lot of different things. He's really fast. And then Emmanuel Henderson, who's also fast. We saw him last year, can catch the ball. Rico Scott, kind of a young guy. And then in the H spot, Kobe Prentice, you guys know him.
Yeah.
Caleb Adams, Bubba Hamilton, who's the guy from Texas. Remember, Nick Saban was like, hey, this guy's a dog. We love him. And then,
Hamilton.
Yeah. And then Amari Jefferson. Those are the guys pretty much what you're looking at with wide receiver. But it really is crazy to think that, that Hollywood Williams is like already,
16 years old.
Yeah, he's like the number 2 guy. Like he's getting time in practice and stuff. And you can't compare anyone to Julio Jones, but it's hard not to, Julio came in his first game. He was one of the best players.
Yeah, he's a hard one to.
And then,
well, Ryan's what, 6'2"?
I don't know. Like 6'1", 6'2", maybe.
Yeah. He reminds me more of a Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, like that style of Calvin. You know what I mean? Like just body type. Like Julio, fucking freak.
Yeah.
Julio came in 205, 210.
Oh yeah.
But out there.
No, Julio was just he was physical, had everything. Explosive, physical, long.
All right, we got a special guest here. Happy birthday to this guy. Get your hat on, Jake.
Oh yeah, snuck one on me. Yeah, my God, y'all funny, man. Thank you. It is, man. Thank you. Thank you.
The whole thing was we weren't going to tell you that we knew.
That's why I was quiet. I was like, am I gonna be a dick?
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. I'm gonna have me one of these.
Happy 30th birthday.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Happy 30th birthday.
Man.
No, we forgot, did you?
You said I turned 30. I was like,
I told Mick I ruined it.
I gotta be a dick for 15 minutes.
When I said that, Mick was like he didn't know.
I me and him were looking at each other like,
don't give it up. Don't give it up.
I appreciate that, man.
He said that. I was like, yeah.
Well, you said you were just saying your birthday. I was like, oh, it's gonna trigger his memory. Oh man, happy birthday!
No, I appreciate it, y'all.
Got you the cupcakes, and we wouldn't even get to sing to you, but 30.
That's
30.
all right there, man.
Man.
Oh, man.
It was about fast.
About it yesterday. You'd have gotten some real interesting stuff.
Like Spencer's.
Hey, I told y'all. I'm in between White Horse and Rolling Over on one. I'm in between right now, brother. I'm having an identity crisis right now. I don't know where I'm supposed to be at.
Oh my goodness. That was great. I was like, okay, well, now we got to wait it out a little bit. Make sure he didn't know. And Ryan's like, hey, somebody's out there.
I don't know what happened to his film.
I saw that side eye.
Oh my!
He looked over there like he had somebody who was worried about looking.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I saw too. I was gonna be on the show tonight. Somebody around trying to serve me or what?
Shit, what I do this weekend?
Lock that door, Jake. Lock that door.
I'm gonna be hiding behind the Cubs flag.
Surprise, surprise.
I appreciate that, brother.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
So
big
That's
dog.
all right.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Glad to see you.
Man.
Oh man. Okay, so when I know that this is a topic a lot of people have talked about. Just and just explain to everyone, like we kind of got into this a little bit. You practice early compared to practice late. Like they changed a lot of stuff up this year. Practice early, pretty much off on Monday. They were indoor last week to let the field kind of, heal up a little bit. And I know my grass is turning brown a lot of spots. Not that I have a lot of it, but it has been pretty hot and we haven't gotten a lot of rain. Right. So as players though, what's the difference between going early and at night? And do you think that matters at all?
I mean, we went at Florida State. We went at like 5:30 in the morning, but that's because it rained every day. We didn't have an indoor.
Right.
So, I mean, you had to get it in earlier. That summer rain in the afternoon would come in and rain you out. But I mean, when you practice in the morning, it's like 75 degrees. You know, it's like you're practicing out in California, it just isn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
And when I mean, Alabama it's just different. You know, I mean, hell, I think I've told this story on here before, but I remember when I was transferring and I got to Tuscaloosa, it was my spring break, my last year at Florida State, and I go in there and I'm getting ready to work out, and Moorhead brings me the workout shoe, and I look at it and I'm like, I look back at him, I'm like, this is for the whole week, isn't it? And he goes, nah, that's just for today. Holy shit. So what have I done?
Get your shit together, Coach.
Surprise. Another surprise.
Hand behind the line. That's what he used to always say.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I feel like you can win doing different stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I'm old school, saving, brainwashed.
Yeah.
Like that's the way I think it should be done in the heat. It build character. You know, if a guy gonna quit on you, he gonna quit on you out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot harder to. I feel like it's a lot harder to kind of weed out. You know, who's who when it's a breeze every day. Like
yeah.
that,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, when we played, I don't know, in 2015, again, I felt like there was only one team that we played the whole year that didn't quit. I mean, you just couldn't, and it was Clemson. I mean, every team, even when we lost to Ole Miss, I mean, I just felt like if we'd have had another quarter, I mean, when you were playing them, you could just tell we were still ready to go. Like they were
trying to run the clock out and get out of
it. We weren't worn out. I mean, but you can kind of tell body language wise and looking at guys if they're, you know, it's like a worn out boxer in late rounds. I mean, just felt like we had a lot left in the tank, and all that is, I mean, those summer workouts are brutal. I mean, they're nonstop, you know, 7-on-7s in the heat. Then you got practice. I mean, I remember getting those stretch lines and sitting there stretching with that band. You know, we had the partner stretch, and that sun's beating down on your face, and you're like, how the hell are we going to be out here for 2.5 hours wearing all this shit?
well, shit take me back.
I mean, just standing out there in pads, it was like, what the? And I thank God I was in a black jersey. Let me tell you, I can't imagine doing that.
That band on, eyes to the sky, looking at that bow.
Like
you got to figure it out right then before you get back up.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
And 25 days in a row, just the same thing. I mean, falling asleep in meetings, you know.
That's why people fall asleep, because they're just so tired from playing football all the time.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'd say.
So most people don't think that. I hear like so-and-so fell asleep in a meeting. I'm not thinking like he's just beat up from practice, but
I mean,
I get that now.
When I was at Florida State, it was a lot worse. The facilities, it wasn't close to Alabama, and you'd get done with practice, and you'd have another practice in the afternoon, and I mean, all you did was, if you didn't have meetings or practice, you were trying to find a place to take a nap. And I mean, guys be lined up. The whole floor, we had a 25-yard indoor upstairs above the weight room, and everybody'd be laid out taking naps for 30 minutes for the next meeting or the workout, or, you know, I mean.
Wow.
On lunch, when you come out, that was the main thing. I'll never forget that. Like, you'll come out like that first practice, then you'll, you know, go eat, and you'll shower, and you come back and meet again.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do, it was dinner. So everybody try to like stay at the complex. You know what I mean? You get on Miss Amy list or the trainer's list where they'll bring your food to the training room so you can sleep.
Yeah.
So I go in there, I might cut my elbow or something. Yeah. Band-Aid right here. Like I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like but I feel like that's really what made us. You know, I hated it then. Like it was a few days where I really like, all right, I'm looking forward to doing this. You know what I mean? Like it was the guys. Like that's what kept me going. Like I know I got to be around like a great group of dudes every day. Like you never knew what somebody was gonna say or do.
Yeah.
And that just kept everybody on their toes, like somebody gonna break the ice. You feel me? So and get you through.
And then that third weekend, you really see everybody. I mean, nobody's holding anything back. You find out who everybody is after 3 weeks of that.
Yeah, right.
And then the fights really start getting serious. Then it's like, all right, we got to play somebody.
We got to play somebody.
I mean, this is the heat's getting real.
Got to turn it on somebody else.
For real.
Yeah, I just wondered like what I guess like the thing about practicing early though is that you can do a lot of the other stuff throughout the day. You can go back and look at film from practice. You can do meetings. Like I'm guessing like in the NFL they practice in the morning, right?
Yeah, we practice like in Washington, our schedule, like we're on the field probably like 12, 11,
okay,
12-ish. Pittsburgh was better. Like Washington was like it was a shithole when I was there. Oh, it really was. Like it was so stupid.
Well, those NFL complexes aren't as nice as college ones.
No, definitely better than that.
Yeah.
My high school's better than Washington.
I mean, I saw some of the. I never seen Cleveland's, but I saw it on TV, and I was like, "My God!" I mean, that was a few years ago. It was like, man, they're making the most out of those profit margins.
Exactly.
I mean,
I used to complain about that, like to Chad Englehart, still my dog, great strength coach. I'd be like, man, I can't believe, like, he's like, man, they pay you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll take that. Like,
yeah, that's true.
But it make it harder, like. And they got better, like my third year, they added a whole bunch of stuff. But it was like, it was practice and I was gone. You feel me? Like it was a dude named Dr. Craig that I used to work with. He had a nice little facility, like all the stuff you could do. But it was like, I was trying to get out of that facility ASAP. You know what I mean? Like it was and everybody was like that outside of Ryan Kerrigan for real. Like it was a race to the car.
Yeah.
Like we getting out of here. So.
My dad was the biggest Redskins fan back in the day, man.
Yeah.
The Hogs.
Ravens fan?
That was before the Ravens. There was a time before Ravens.
They was the Baltimore Colts.
They were gone by then.
Oh yeah.
So he switched from Baltimore Colts when they went to Indianapolis to Redskins. So the Redskins had Joe Gibbs as the coach, and they were good every year. Really physical football team. So I like the Cowboys.
Yeah. My whole family liked him.
Yeah, I was a Cowboys fan.
You were that guy.
I was that guy. Yeah, looking back now, I mean, I guess
that's
I should.
Like a guy from Alabama that pulls for the Yankees.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why Alabama people pull for the Yankees is because George Steinbrenner was good friends with Bear Bryant, and do you guys know this? And the Yankees used to come and play Alabama. They played Alabama twice in baseball in Tuscaloosa.
Oh,
yeah, over the
years.
Did? Yeah, scrimmage games. And Bear would fly to Yankee Stadium and like go in and see everybody and stuff. Him and Steinbrenner got to know each other because of Mel Allen. Mel Allen was the voice of the Yankees, but he was the guy, one of the first Alabama broadcasters. He's from Birmingham. You know who Mel Allen is? Like the first Hall of Fame broadcaster.
That's what's up.
Real deep voice. How about that? He'd say. But he was a huge star in New York. And Mel actually gave Bear Bryant his first houndstooth hat. And then he was the Yankees guy. And George Steinbrenner loved him and so they all kind of knew each other and stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I didn't know you went to the Birmingham game.
Yeah, I did. Me and Payne, I went up with him, bro. I ain't planning on going.
I didn't see you, man.
I know
we were looking, the phones wouldn't work there.
Yeah.
Service was not good.
Before I came in, I had hit you up. I seen the picture you took on the bus.
Yeah, on the bus. Yeah. I wore my throwbacks.
Yeah. Hey, Mick, I'm gonna say something though, man. I'm really just getting into baseball like heavy now.
Yeah.
Like that was a cool ass event though.
It was one of the best days of my life.
Cool, bro. Like just the history, like to learn about the stadium and where it was, and how they had it nice. It was a nice event.
Great event.
It was nice. So.
I loved it.
Yeah, hopefully they keep doing it. Is that something they're gonna do annually?
They're gonna bring it back. I don't think they're gonna do it every year, but they're gonna bring it back.
The Braves to come play there.
They're bringing the Braves are playing next year at Bristol Motor Speedway. So that'll be the first game ever that Tennessee has, like a major league game.
Okay.
But the commissioner said they're gonna come back to Rickwood. So I played baseball at Rickwood.
Oh yeah.
And I broadcasted at Rickwood, and then I was lucky to get a ticket to that game. But I met Willie Mays on numerous occasions. Love Willie.
How was he? He was a good
he was the best player ever, besides him and Babe Ruth. And Willie, you know this, Willie died. The whole thing was about Willie. He played for the Black Barons. Then he went on to be like the greatest baseball player besides Babe Ruth or equal to Babe Ruth. So they did the whole thing for Willie. It started on Tuesday, and Willie died on Tuesday. I mean, it's like God just intervened on this whole thing.
That's crazy.
So it was a whole celebration.
Willie Mays.
Well, Willie was supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, I remember.
And you and I were talking about it because we did a show, and I was like, look, I love Willie Mays. I've met Willie Mays a lot. I know him. He's a great guy. I remember saying to him, you know, just talking about Alabama, and I was like, hey, you know, it's changed a lot. You know, it's the same thing I say to Billy Williams, who's a Hall of Fame Cubs guy who grew up in Whistler, you know. And then to think that, like, we had thrown this whole thing together to bring Willie back, like, to give him the due that he obviously deserves, you know.
Yeah.
And then he died, and it's like sometimes things happen like that, and you're like, man, there's a bigger force out there than what you can even think.
No.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, that's the best funeral celebration.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Best home.
And, you know, Willie's been there, done that. His family.
It's
got to be a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Especially his grandkids to go back and see that.
Oh, man, it was great.
Where he played and have everybody there for him.
He's like Ryan Williams. He was a high school guy.
If you're his grandkids
that played for a professional.
Grandchildren at this point, you see that. I mean, you're like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't know much about his playing career, have seen much.
Yeah, right.
Footage, you know, but I mean, to go back, you know, as his great grandchild and see how many people care about him and celebrities now talking about him.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Legacy right there.
Yeah. Well, how cool. The whole thing was cool, man. Think about like the pregame show was one of the coolest pregame shows you're ever going to see. And then, you know, the game was amazing. The facility was great. I came out and looked for you in that outside area, and some of my friends were out there, and I said,
you could have missed him.
He had that suit on.
Everybody saw me.
I could like I said, when I was under the stadium, I told him like I'm in this section, and I couldn't even.
Did you buy that right before that event?
I had it from some other like baseball throwback stuff I've done.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go around dressing like that a lot.
Mick was all into it.
Hey.
You ever seen Dumb and Dumber? when they had the little mixer. Yeah. Mick had it going on.
Hey, that's the best.
Whacking people with canes.
Yeah, look, yeah. The best part was like they had all the guys that were the guy. There's not a whole lot of guys left that played in the Negro League, but they had them there and they were honoring them. And I'm coming in, you know, that area where like you would come out down that ramp to go get the beer and stuff. And I saw this guy in a wheelchair, and he's just like sizing me up. And then he gets to my hat, and he's just like, they give me the thumbs up. But I'd seen the old pictures, like we're back in the day, everybody dressed like that.
Oh, yeah. It was like going to church.
Oh, it didn't matter if it was the Barons or the Black Barons. Everybody dressed like that.
Yeah.
You dressed like you had the coat on and the hat, and you looked really good.
Man. You did it up.
I loved it, man. I was so glad that you were there because I just wanted to that's my thing. You know, I was going to tell you about like just the different stuff about that stadium.
Yeah.
And I got in there and my cell phone didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like Bryant-Denny Stadium before they fixed the cell phone towers. You guys know that?
No.
Because you were probably playing. It was back when you guys were playing. Like you get the cell phones and you'd be like, hey, where are you sitting? And then it would just be like the little wheel turning. No bars. Oh man.
That was a dope event though, man.
Yeah.
We gotta catch a Braves game.
No, let's go, man. Yeah. My one of my best friends is Ben Ingram's the broadcaster. We'll go.
Cubs play the Braves.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know if they play there again this year, but it would be great to go crash Ben's party.
Yeah.
I would love for us three to go in there and just mess with him. He'd love it too.
Baseball vibe, like
it's fun.
Everybody that was at that event was like everybody was so chill. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's just a different atmosphere. Like everybody
got like a calmer horse race feel to it.
Yeah. Well, that game was really cool. It was something. I think it's one of the biggest sporting events in the state's history. I mean, to have a Major League Baseball game, Yeah. Has the NFL ever played a real game here?
I don't know if Birmingham has ever gotten that kind of publicity before.
Yeah, and that neighborhood needed it. Everything was good, man. Like, like I mean, I know when I used to play there, and that was, I don't know, like I don't even want to count how many years, but decades ago, and it really looks the same. I mean, it hasn't changed a whole lot. So I'm kind of hoping that they come back and that they put more money and invest into it, and it.
After that, they got to.
They got to, man.
I mean, after that was. I don't know what the ratings were, but I imagine. I mean, the amount of production value they put into that.
Yeah,
it was packed, Colt.
Yeah,
it was packed. Like, it was bringing people in on buses, man.
Yeah,
it was packed.
It was a hard ticket to get. I was lucky to get one.
Yeah. I said I didn't plan on going. Payne that hit me up like at last minute. He was in town.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, man, I got a extra ticket if you want to go. So it was like a last minute thing. And I just so happened to have my Boston jersey with me on that trip.
Were you up there anyway?
Yeah, I was.
Were you?
For a project I'm doing, so that's kind of how it happened. You think Willie Mays was better than Josh Gibson?
I mean, Josh Gibson was great too, but I mean, Willie Mays played longer.
Yeah.
Josh Gibson was a great power hitter.
Yeah.
And a good catcher, but Willie Mays was a 5-star.
He's like a
5-star. Yeah, like
he's considered the best of all time, possibly.
We're right. I mean, it's him or Babe Ruth, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Babe pitched and hit, but he didn't run the bases. He didn't play defense. I mean, Willie Mays was like, like
ace.
Like put him in center field, and basically the corner outfielders can play shallow and all over on the sides because he's going to cover everything.
Yeah.
And then he got to the major leagues and was sensational for like 20 some years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's 20 some years. Yeah, I think like a long career. So I mean,
back then too, when I mean nobody gave a damn about
massage a
recovery.
Yeah,
I mean
that's a freak, bro.
Yeah. I love how you guys think about it. Like I'm just looking at numbers and stuff.
You tell your coaches back then, I need an R&R day. They look at you with a side eye like.
He told me when he played in Chattanooga that was before he was like professional. He was playing up there. I mean, he was professional because they were getting paid, but it wasn't like affiliated baseball. And he said that they didn't get paid if the game got rained out. They didn't get meal money, and that it rained a lot in Chattanooga. And he was hungry, and he was like, I just went home. I mean, think about it. Like now the guy's like at the time he died, I mean, he was by far the greatest living baseball player. And then, when the first time I met him, it was in Chattanooga. I organized a event he was the sponsor for. It was something that I was involved in. And I just got to sit back behind because I put it together, really kind of put it together with the other people. It's my idea. And I'm just talking to him about everything,
dope, man.
So cool, man.
Yeah,
just to be, I mean, and I never felt like, oh, this is what, I mean, he's not treating me like, hey, I'm Willie Mays. I'm looking at him and going, that's Willie Mays I'm talking to right now.
Yeah, you're trying to keep it together.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That was a different breed back then.
Yeah, it was. And an Alabama guy too. I mean, think about it. Hank Aaron from Alabama, Willie from Alabama, Satchel Paige from Alabama. I mean,
I didn't know Satchel was from here.
He's from like Mobile.
No.
Yeah.
I knew Hank Aaron was from over there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Hank Aaron in Olive Garden on Airport Boulevard one time. His family, I was about 9 years old.
Oh, yeah. Did you go talk to him?
I tried.
What happened?
He was like, I'm eating dinner, man.
Yeah.
He's like, good to see you, but
yeah.
Beat it. I got you.
Yeah. I will this is the last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll wrap this one up. But when I was a kid, I got to meet Reggie Jackson, and he was awesome. Yeah. At Memorial Stadium, my Father Carl, I talk about Father Carl, the priest now, but that was before he was a priest. He just was like a guy that just looked after me. And I loved Reggie. And he went in the clubhouse and he got Reggie and came out and met me. And I'm like, this guy's like larger than life. And he was so cool. So I haven't run into Reggie as like a pro yet, like where I would love to just be like, man, I was like the big, and then I was like, want to pimp my home runs like Reggie, swing for the fence like Reggie, wear 44 like Reggie did. You know, he was with the Angels back then. Great guy though, man. You know, like that. And then I talk to Father Carl a lot now. He's a priest in Boca Raton, and he always reminds me of that. You know, because it doesn't even feel like it's real.
Yeah.
And then you get to this point, and now you pretty much kind of know. You know what I mean? It's not the same when you're an adult, you know, because you kind of, and we're all in this thing, you know, we kind of just go up to people and hang out with them and stuff. But when you're a kid, man, you take 5 minutes out for somebody.
Oh yeah.
Life changer.
Yeah. But you know, some of those guys, I get it. Hank Aaron, I can't imagine. I mean, that guy's bombarded all the time.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure he gets a dinner with his family here and there out in public. Pretty nice not be bothered.
Well, I mean, I guess like I got to flip this on you guys though. I mean, I'm sure people do that to you.
And I'm gonna tell you why I always try to take the time out with people.
And we've seen you do this too.
When I was in 8th grade, Julio Jones, he come to Daphne to play basketball.
I know the story.
Julio come to Daphne, and I'm like that's Julio. You know, I'm like, that's Julio. And then like my cousin, my friend, they're like, man, don't go over there. I was like, I'm gonna get him to sign something for me. So I find somebody at the game, give me a note, like piece of notebook paper and a pen. And I walk over there like they were sitting in the bleachers while the girls was playing. And I was like, hey, you know, Julio. Like, well, I caught Robert first. And Robert signed it for me. And I'm like, hey, Julio, you sign this? He was like, nah. And everybody, when I walk back, everybody like, fuck him, man. Fuck him. I don't know. And I told him about that, you know, one time when he was in Tuscaloosa, he just bust out laughing. And Robert, he was like, man, you was a Daphne kid, man. I ain't putting sign shit for you. When I got to college, Robert was like a 5th year, my freshman year. And you know, just like, you know how you go back and forth in the locker room, talking shit to him. He was like, motherfucker, did you ask my autograph before? I'm like, boy, that's low. I'm like, boy, Robert, that's low, boy. Everybody in the locker room was like, you did that? I'm like, 8th grade, man.
You just leave.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
So now, like, I always like try to take the time out. Like, I don't never want a kid to feel like that, you know.
No, you're like, where's that magazine? I have a magazine and they had pictures from the mullet toss, and we're not in it.
I always
you're
do
in
the
it.
same thing.
Did you see that magazine?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll just get it brought out here for us. Yeah, you're in it.
Yeah, I do the same thing though. I mean, there's only been one time where I've been like, no, I'm going home. That was the Senior Bowl after we won, and the Senior Bowl was
That's
insane.
a lot. It's a lot.
I was losing my mind at the end of that. But when I was leaving the hotels when I was like, man, I'm getting out of here. I can't do it. But I mean, that's the only time
like that. I don't really blame you. Like
I had all my, you know, I'm carrying all my stuff trying to get to the truck, and she was like, "You're taking a picture of me," and I was like, "No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm getting out of here."
I love Jim Nagy, man, but I wanted to kill him that way. Thankful for the opportunity, Jim. Like, it was great, but it was like just it was so much.
It was,
like,
if you left that hotel room, you were in.
Yeah.
But you know, it meant a lot playing in that game. Just, you know, it's funny is when I was, you know, when I was little and coming up, going to Ladd felt like Ladd Stadium felt like this massive,
huge,
you know, like a huge arena. Yeah. And then you get back and play it, and it looks so small in comparison to what you thought of it when you were in high school.
But you go off and see all these other stadiums and playing these other stadiums. I remember we'll go like the South team will practice at Fairhope, so we'll like take a bus over and watch them. And then during the game, like me and my cousin Torn, like he was a football fanatic, so he always got tickets. We go over there. Like I remember it was Tebow senior year, like him, Taylor Mays, all them dudes like coming out the and like so like when I got the opportunity to go back and play it was just like damn, like
that is cool.
Yeah, like I'm here now. You know what I mean? Like,
it
felt surreal. I'm like, dang.
When I got to the Cardinals, Carson Palmer was he was a starter in Arizona at that point, and I was like, I told him that was back when I was, getting autographs. I think I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, and it was one of the first. My dad took me to a practice, and it was at St. Paul's back then, and I got his autograph as a 3rd or 4th grader. And then when I got to Arizona, I was like, I met you when I was about 3rd or 4th
That's
grade.
so cool, though.
Crazy,
I was like, I got your autograph about, 25 years ago,
So
20
cool.
years ago. And he was like, shit, I wish you hadn't told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Them be the moments, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's surreal.
We blessed, we got the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Surreal for sure.
It was cool, like talking to Greg Maddox, and I'm like, hey, your brother threw me a baseball. Because his brother pitched too. And he's like the pitching coach now of the Rangers. But just talking about that experience, I always liked you, but I liked your brother more.
Watching some of those videos of him throwing it and you catch him on a hot mic.
Oh, dude.
After he throws a bad pitch.
We could do a whole show. I've told you some of the stories off there.
one of those podcasts he's on, and he talks about whoever's commentating or hosting the podcast is like, that pitch you threw against Moises Alou in '89, and it's a 2-seam fastball. It moves about a foot, and he kind of looks around and goes, "Yeah, that was nasty." he's like, what happened is that ball got scuffed up.
Yeah,
somebody hit it or it bounced off something that got scuffed up,
and he kept it. Yeah,
he's like, "Oh man, I hope that ball stays around for a while." And somebody hit a foul ball, and he was, he was just pissed off because he lost that ball with a scuff on it.
If he was here, he would fit in with this crew.
Yeah.
I don't know if we gave him some free beer if he'd tell any of his real good stories. He's a funny dude, man. And everybody likes him. And he was the best pitcher too, 350 wins.
You tell it all, Mick.
Yeah, it will. I see your cups are empty. Let me finish this podcast because we're gonna we'll have another one for you tomorrow. Might look exactly the same as today. But so we switched over. You guys know this. We switched from Roll Tide Pods to Cover Crimson. And then we added Clint Lamb, who I love. And Mike Johnson's going to come on and do some stuff. And, and then a bunch of other guys too. And we're going to try to build this channel. And so I'm like, like they put the release out and I'm like, I write my thing for the release and I'm like, yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was like, I wrote in there, I'm glad I have a stake in this. Right. So then Big Elmo, Brett Elmore, my partner on my Roll Tide, on my other show, Bama Tailgate Daily, he texts me at like midnight. He's like, and by the way, genius, you got the wrong steak in there. I said, bro, it's midnight. Why didn't you tell me this like hours ago? Z1 is spelling bee in high school in 7th grade.
Everybody to see it before he called you out.
Yeah. I felt so dumb. Like, I hope this isn't indicative of how things are going to go here. I said, I'm saving that story for in here just so we can make fun of me for a minute.
Shit happened, Mick.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's not a Shank Unchained comment.
Yeah, kind of along those lines. Yeah. Shank texted me today. It's time to get Shank back in.
I know. He's got through fall camp right now.
I talked to him this morning too. He sent me a birthday text and he texted me, he's like, he said, man, he's like, it just crossed my mind. You almost threw Tyron Jones out of the window because he owed you some money and didn't want to pay you. Like, where the fuck that come from?
Like, happy birthday.
I'm like, why you remember that? I was just looking for a picture of us and then it just crossed my mind. I'm like, damn, sir.
Anyway, I'm going to coach these kids.
Yeah. We're going to have a great O-line.
Golly, dude.
Well,
man.
Stay tuned. We got another episode tomorrow. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll.